very difficult loss versus Temple last week. And then here you've got Cincinnati, 3-game winning streak, really on the heels of a 3-game losing streak. They've got momentum, and that's huge in the month of November.
So people outside the Carolinas may not know how good East Carolina is. This is a team that not ranked this week, have been ranked a good portion of the season. They won at Virginia Tech. They thumped North Carolina, scoring 70 points. This is a good football team.
It really is. The guy that you need to look for tonight, Justin Hardy, this guy is dynamic. You got to love his story. He's a walk-on. He came here. He's one of the premier receivers in the country right now. When Shane Card is looking for a go-to guy, you can look no further than Justin Hardy.
So Hardy on the side of ECU. For Cincinnati, really, that role's played by Shaq Washington.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Again, when you look at Gunnar Keel, and when he's looking for his targets, Shaq Washington's going to be the guy. This is a guy that's going to play mostly in the slot. He's a little guy. He's very shifty. He finds ways to get open in zone coverage, and when he gets his hands on the ball, he's very dangerous after the catch.
A chilly night tonight in Cincinnati for the Bearcats and the Pirates. Kickoff from Cincinnati is coming up. Chilly night here in Cincinnati. The third member of our broadcast team is Casey Smith down on the field. What's the weather conditions like down there, Casey?
Mark, it is freezing. We've seen a little bit of snow, very windy, and this is something that neither team has seen so far this season. When we talked to Tommy Tuberville yesterday, he said it's really going to come down who it affects more mentally and physically and who can adjust better throughout this game. He said that up until yesterday, his team hadn't practiced in anything less than 70-degree weather, and both Cincinnati and Eastern Carolina will definitely have a challenge awaiting them tonight.
No doubt that wind is going to be a big factor because with the wind chill, I'm surprised it's as high as 21 degrees with the wind chill factor. Well, Cincinnati won the toss and deferred. They're in their black uniforms tonight. East Carolina with the white uniforms, but they're wearing white helmets for the first time. Isaiah Jones, Davon Grayson back deep to receive his kick from Tony Miliano, and we are underway from Cincinnati. Jones will now take it out of the end zone, and the Bearcats will begin at their own 25-yard line.
It's going to be really interesting to see how fast he starts this game.
18 TDs, 5 picks on the year. Nearly 2,800 yards through the air for Carter. Set to go now with Breon Allen in the backfield. Fakes the handoff. It's Isaiah Jones up to the 32-yard line for a gain of about 7, tackled by Nick Temple. Let's take a look at our impact players when ECU has the ball. Breon Allen at running back, Jeff Luke, a key at linebacker for Cincinnati. The rush for Breon Allen straight ahead is going to leave him about a yard short of the first down. Brad Hara, the defensive tackle, making the stop for Cincinnati.
As you can see, East Carolina, they're lining up quick. They're running plays probably about every 14, 15 seconds.
Third and less than a yard. Carden throwing, and it's caught by Jones. Enough for the first down by a yard or two, up to the 37. Zach Edwards there on the coverage, but a first down for ECU.
This is where you know they've got confidence in their throwing game. Again, he's starting out smart, giving nice, easy throws. 2 of them right there to Isaiah Jones, 1 for the first down.
Anthony Scott now comes in the game at running back for the Pirates. Running right, Quay Johnson cuts it back across the 20. Hit there at the 16. Did he lose the football? He did, and Cincinnati takes it away.
That is a huge, huge stop. That was a huge stop. The momentum was swinging in East Carolina's favor. Unbelievable defensive play. If they can come up with this ball, that is going to be a huge play for the Bearcats defensively.
Well, Luke recovered it. Let's see where it came out. It was going to be enough for a first down. It looked like Luke stripped it as well.
Well, you know, we talked about him, Mark. He's that guy that's always around the ball. You know, 5-star guy coming out of high school.
Fourth forced fumble. I'll get it out for Luke this year. First quarter as ECU fumbles on the 13th play of the opening drive. So the Cincinnati offense comes out for the first time, and sophomore Gunnar Keel TDs, 7 picks on the year. He's up over 2,000 yards on the season. He's had a few injury issues this year. Munchie Lego has appeared in 5 games as well. More! Across the 30, all the way up near the 40-yard line before he's wrapped up by Dietrich Allen. Eric Layfeld, the left tackle, with a terrific block to spring him for 23 yards. And look at our impact players when Cincinnati has the ball.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You got to watch Mikhail McKay, prototypical 6'6" NFL receiver. Watch him because you're going to get him some screens.
Quick strike out to McKay there. That's 6'6" junior, brought down by Dietrich Allen, a gain of 4.
And then defensively, you got to watch Josh Hawkins. This is going to be a good little matchup. You know, he's one of the leading interceptors in the league. He's got 4 interceptions on the year. Leads the league in pass breakups. That's going to be a good little matchup tonight.
Field fakes the handoff, swings it out again to McKay, avoids 1 tackler, has a first down. The sideline, there he goes! McKay! His 6th touchdown of the year, 55 yards. This time it was a great block from wide receiver Max Morrison along the sideline to get McKay into the end zone.
This is exactly what we were talking about. They want to get him the ball. He is good out in space now. He can take the ball. He's great with yards after catch. There's no doubt for a big guy, this guy can move. They've done this repeatedly with him over the year. Get him the ball, let him do all the dirty work, and you can see right here, turn into a huge explosive play for Cincinnati on the first 3 rounds.
Watching it live, I wondered if he stayed in bounds, but looking at that great shot down the sideline, no question he did. 3-play drive, 83 yards, and Andrew Gantz adds on the extra point. 55 yards down the sideline for Mikhail McKay, and it's 7-0. The reason the Bearcats are playing at the NFL home of the Cincinnati Bengals this year is because of this, because their home stadium on campus, Nippert Stadium, an $86 million renovation. Here's the artist rendering of what it will eventually look like, and it will be ready for next season there on campus once again for the Bearcats. Right here at Paul Brown Stadium tonight, the home of the Cincinnati Bengals. And the efficient team so far, Gene, has been the Bearcats. 13 plays and a fumble for the only possession for ECU, and for Cincinnati, 3 plays and a score.
Well, I'll tell you, give credit to the Cincinnati defense. That's 2 huge stops early in the game. That is big for momentum, and then all of a sudden, what we say, our impact player, there he was, Mikhail McKay, early in the game with a huge play.
Jones is going to take it out from the yard deep. Brings through at the 20 to the 25, up near the 27-yard line. 3rd and 10, Card into the air, and Hardy has it and has the first down, enough by about a yard or 2. Zach Edwards with the coverage, but they go to the reliable senior Justin Hardy.
Yeah, again, this is just a little simple out route. Again, they took advantage of being matched up one-on-one with a safety, which is smart. Again, easy throw, high percentage throw, good connection with his favorite guy.
5th first down for ECU tonight. They've converted 4 of 5 attempts on 3rd down already. Going deep down the sideline. The adjustment and the catch again by Hardy. This up at the Cincinnati 30, a 31-yard gain. Matched up on the safety again, Zach Edwards.
Again, watch this. I mean, they're seeing mismatches here. When you have a safety on Justin Hardy, you're going to take that back. You're going to throw it. That was a great throw and a great catch.
Harden swings it out. Grayson for 5 yards. Tackled by Howard Wilder, the cornerback. It's Davon Grayson. Second down to 9. Carden going through his progressions and finally dumps it off underneath. Grayson, not much there. Nothing. There was Nick Temple. Temple made the tackle, but Terrell Hartsfield was the one that was in pursuit of the quarterback.
I'll tell you, Shane Carden really made the good decision. They tried to run what we call a screen and go, trying to give the illusion they're going to run that under screen, and then all of a sudden the 2 receivers take off. Cincinnati covered it like a blanket. He made the right call on that, no question.
Pirates have converted 4 of 5 on 3rd down already tonight. We're just midway through this first quarter. Hard taking a strike at the 5 and off the hands of Hardy that time. Zach Edwards trying to get a little payback. Nice coverage there in the incompletion.
Well, what you got to remember is when you're down there tight, Zach Edwards has a little bit better coverage ability, and he has it for one reason. He can't get beat deep down there, and he knows that. So he come out slow, he kind of catch the route. Plus, when you've had that route run on you 3 times in the last 7 or 8 plays, eventually Zach Edwards, who's definitely one of those smarter defensive backs, he's going to eventually play that thing and do a great job there.
31-yard attempt for Harvey, as you saw, 7 of 12 this year. His long being 40, and out of the hole to Worth Gregory knocks it through. So the Pirates settle for a field goal on their second possession with 7:02 to play in the first quarter. 7-3. 7-3 Cincinnati. VCU's been in the red zone twice. Their 2 possessions, but only 3 points to show for it.
Well, again, I think that's exactly, that's the way the game's got to be played by Cincinnati. They got to get a stop here and there. In the red zone, they got to get a field goal when they can instead of touchdowns.
Holden from the goal line. Knocks off the tackler at the 25, a flag down. 3rd down and 10. Gunnar Kiel to throw. Coming to that far side, and it is picked off. That ball in the air a long time, and Lamar Ivy able to get over and intercept it for ECU.
You know, this is what they talked about. This is what Ruff and McNeil talked about the other day. ECU wasn't getting the turnovers. That was the deal. 8 turnovers previous to this game, 28 last year, and this is just a great job. I mean, Lamar Ivy plays the ball perfect in the air. But again, Mark, when you have a windy night and you hang that ball up, and there's time for the secondary to break on the football, you're going to get these. And again, that's why you got to be very careful with how far you're going to float that ball out there on some of these deeper routes.
And not to pick on Gunnar Kiel because you just mentioned with the wind, but this could be really kind of a 14-point swing because they missed a chance with Washington for 7 the other way, and now they could give up 7. We'll see how it plays out here for the Pirates. They get to 25, and there goes Allen to the 10. Zach Edwards kind of came out of nowhere to upend him. Looked like for a moment he may be headed to the end zone.
Yeah, that was a great saving tackle right there because that thing was going to hit its head on the goalpost. Just did a great job on an inside run right there, right down the middle of the defense. They are going to try. I tell you, I like it though, Mark. They're going to try to run the football.
Allen comes out hobbling a bit after that 14-yard run. Here's to the West Grace in the backs. They fake it now. Carton being chased, throws it dangerously. That's almost picked off. Looked like he was just trying to get rid of it. And Lyndon Stevens had a chance to pick that and maybe go the other way. Terrell Hartsfield was putting the pressure on Carton. Almost turned that into 6, Stevens did.
Well, now you're seeing the other side get pressure on Shane Carton. Terrell Hartsfield, who leads the American Conference in sacks with 7.5. Again, pressure is the only way. 4-man pressure is the only way you're going to get him out of his comfort zone.
Hand it off this time, Grayson. 4 yards. Grayson, a redshirt freshman out of Lexington, North Carolina. Third and goal, just over 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Cincinnati leading 7-3. 55-yard touchdown catch by Mikhail McKay.
It's going to be a huge 3rd down.
4 of 6 on 3rd down so far. Carton with time now pulls it down. In big trouble, throws towards the pylon, incomplete.
That is a huge 3rd down stop. Think about this red zone opportunities now that East Carolina's had, okay? That is 2 enormous stops by the Cincinnati defense. They're getting pressure up front. They're breaking on the balls when the balls are being thrown. The receivers are, this is a scramble drill's got to come into play because these guys are on the scramble. I'm going to say probably a high percentage on drop back pass tonight. He's been on the run.
Harvey connected for 31 yards on their last possession. This is a 23-yard attempt out of the hole to Worth Gregory. And he Sneaks it in that left upright, but that's 3 trips to the red zone so far tonight for East Carolina. And only 6 points to show for it. They're down 1. 7-6, Cincinnati leading East Carolina, 4:47 to play in this first quarter from Paul Brown Stadium. Let's check in again with the third member of our broadcast team down in the field, Casey Smith.
Thanks, Mark. When we talked to the East Carolina coaches earlier this week, they said that Shane Carden, when he speaks, the team listens. That he really takes control and understands what the coaches want. And that's exactly what you're seeing on this sideline right now. 2 stops for the Cincinnati defense, but he's still very involved trying to figure out what can go better and also very confident that things can be fixed.
Casey, thanks very much. Carden and the offense, 3 trips to the red zone, only 6 points. That's a big part of this game so far tonight, G.
Yeah, there's no doubt. In games like this, Mark, it's real simple. You can take two categories and really look at them and dissect them. Turnovers and red zone play. And if you look right now, each team's turned the ball over once. East Carolina's had 3 trips to the red zone and come away with 6 points. Now, eventually, that will come back to haunt them if they can't get that fixed.
8 from the 12. One under the 25-yard line. True freshman now in the game is the running back. This is Mike Boone getting his first carry, and there he goes, 35, 40, all the way up near midfield. What an impressive kid this is, getting a chance to play due to the injuries to some other backs, averaging over 8.5 yards per carry, and all he did was add to that there.
Well, I'll tell you what, not only is he really feeling his way as far as running the football, they're saying he's getting better in protection. He's got really, really good hands. This is an explosive back.
It's a 24-yard run and a first down at the 49. Play fake. Finds the open receiver at the 38, Shaq Washington. Up to the 32 and another first down for the Bearcats, a 19-yard gain. Tackle made by Josh Hawkins.
I tell you, he's a dangerous target in the slot. That's what we talked about right off the play action. Tommy Tuberville talked about it yesterday. They love the play action. They think he's really, really tough to defend in the slot.
Cincinnati averaging over 16 yards per play so far tonight. Pulled down. Boone, that was not a horse collar. I think he just had him by the jersey. Wasn't by the pads as well, so that's the reason for no flag. Joe Allaley, 57 with the stop.
I think you're going to see a lot of Mike Boone tonight. You know, the progression that he's had over the last 2 to 3 weeks has been incredible. Eddie Graham talked about it yesterday. They love this kid.
Right back to Boone. Working his way through there for a few yards before defensive end Jonathan White brings him down. And East Carolina saying they had the football. Jonathan White came up with it, but the officials are saying, no, never spotted it. It's still Cincinnati ball.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a tall order for them to run on the middle of that defense. Starting with, I mean, Terry Williams is a load now. He's 350 pounds. This guy's physical. He can disrupt. I think you're going to see
Field finds the receiver and a nice catch by Holton. Didn't look all that pretty, but he was able to gather it in and move the chains with the first down. Dietrich Allen with the tackle after a pick of a 10.
Now, this is what they call a mesh route, where they're trying to run and just pick players. It's about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Great call by Eddie Grant on that down and distance. They love doing that with Johnny Holton because they feel like he's one of their fastest players, and he can catch that ball and carry it. He can go a long way. That was a great call on 3rd down.
Going out of the backfield, he's lined up in the slot now on the near side. Comes Keel going towards the end zone. Morrison. Well, they're going to talk about it. I have a feeling this is eventually going to wind up as a replay. That's the save. They're going to call the touchdown, but I don't think there's any doubt. Jack Kramer, the replay official, is going to get another peek. But for now, it's a touchdown catch for Morrison, and if it stands, it's 4th of the year.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. If this stands, this is an outstanding football catch by Max Morrison. Let me tell you something. He does the dirty work, too, Mark. He'll block. He'll do. But this right here, if this stands.
And that first look, Chief, I think it is a catch.
It looks like it's going to stand. I don't know that they can overturn that.
Because watch his left foot. His heel is up. He has possession of the football. Now, the only other question from there is he has to keep clean possession of the ball down to the ground. But he has the foot down. Yeah, that's such a good catch. Watching it in real time, I thought there's no way it was a touchdown. but obviously it was. Gantz knocks it through. 2:27 left first quarter, and a couple of TDs for the Bearcats offense. They lead 14-6. Emiliano's kick. Jones from the goal line. Hit at the 16 and dropped there. At the top of your screen, handed off, and Allen. And out turn the corner, run down by Nick Temple. He picked up one. Wilson had a chance at him in the backfield, but then Temple with the tackle, and it's fourth down and time to punt for East Carolina.
Well, Tommy said it yesterday. He said Nick Temple is the leader out there. He's one of our best players. Obviously, he's very active. That was a huge third down stop. If he missed that, that could have bounced and got some momentum to, I don't know, 9, 10, maybe an 11-yard gain close to the first down. That was big by Nick.
With Gregory to punt, officially his first punt. Remember that he did punt earlier, but then the running into the punter extended the possession. Washington from his 10. Stood up at the 16. Tackled there. 57-yard punt. The Bearcats, they come in having won 3 in a row. You know, the game that really kind of stung them early was the Memphis loss. And they got beat pretty badly, 41-14 in their first conference game of the year.
Yeah, they did. And I think you got to remember 2 of those losses in that 3-game streak. One was Miami, one was Ohio State. But you're right. I think the Memphis one kind of caught them off guard, set them back a little bit. But you got to love the way they've rebounded in the last 3 weeks. Again, tonight, to me, they're playing with great confidence. They got momentum.
Quick strike to the outside. McKay made a man miss. He's having some night already. Run down by Dominic Lennon. He already has a 55-yard touchdown catch in this game, McKay. That's an 11-yard game. Into the first quarter. The story in the first quarter, efficiency or lack thereof in the red zone for each of these teams. Into the second quarter on a chilly, if not cold night here in Cincinnati. 14-6, the Bearcats leading the Pirates. Great to have you with us on this Thursday night, along with Casey Smith and Gene Chizik. I'm Mark Neely, and the story right now for Ruffin McNeil's Pirates is this, Gene. They've been in the red zone 3 times, run 5 plays, and have a total of 4 yards and 6 points. 2 field goals.
Yeah, there's no question that's the difference in the game at this point.
Keel throws across the middle and right into the arms of McKay. His 4th catch already tonight. Still on his feet across the 50 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line of East Carolina. This time he got a nice block on the edge from fellow wide receiver Chris Moore, gain of 25.
I'll tell you something. If you're going to play in this offense, you're going to block as a receiver. You're not just going to catch the football. They're definitely doing a great job of that tonight, all across the board.
4 catches already for McKay, 96 yards, and a touchdown. This one leads Nate Cole. 9th catch of the year for Cole, his first of the game, tackled by Lamar Ivy.
And there, again, you see on the perimeter, who's blocking now? McKay's blocking now. See, I mean, we talked about that yesterday. You have to be able to block and do your part on the perimeter in this offense.
Keel on the play fake. Moore at the 20. That's Chris Moore. So in this play, the previous play, Moore was blocking, and now he gets the pass completion for 20 yards.
Yeah, that's a great job by Chris Moore. Great route. Pushed the DB, pushed the corner off. Got about a 5-yard cushion. And to be honest with you, he did a great job. Gunnar Keel did a great job. He had a post corner down here by McKay that he wanted to go to, but he didn't. He took the open guy. That was a great decision on his part.
2 on 3rd down tonight for the Bearcats. 3rd and 7. Keel with lots of time. Now that time elapsing as he's being chased by Bigger and just throws it away. That was Zeke Bigger, the inside linebacker, going after him. Ed mentioned his name yet tonight, but he's one of the big vocal leaders on that Pirates defense.
Yeah, and again, that was a good decision by Gunnar Keel. Again, if he takes a sack right now, especially in these conditions right now, you got the wind blowing. You know, this is a very manageable field goal. This is going to end up being somewhere around a 33-yard field goal. If he takes a sack, now you're looking at 40 to 45 yards. Again, getting out of the pocket, you see him scrambling, and good decision by Gunnar Keel.
You were spot on. This is a 33-yard attempt. 10 of 11 this year, and now make it 11 of 12. Bearcats tack on 3 more here early in this second quarter. 17-6. Hey, I don't think the cold has been a big issue tonight so far. At least, I mean, on the field. Gee,
doesn't seem like it. You know, one ball hung up there for a little bit. You know, on one of the turnovers. But other than that, they don't seem fazed by this at all. I don't see anything that either side tells me that.
Isaiah Jones from the 5, pulled down at the 16. Of 18 for Carden at 123 yards, so not bad numbers at all for the East Carolina quarterback, but his team right now down 11. Still a long way to go in the second quarter. Right with lots of time again as the Bearcats rush 4. Coming back to get the pass is Hardy at the 20 up to the 21. Wrapped up there by Lyndon Stevens, a gain of 4.
Again, I think that Cincinnati's plan right now, they're executing it to a T. They're keeping everything in front of them. They're trying not to give up any explosive plays. If they got to rally and tackle a guy for a 4 or 5 yard gain, they're willing to do it. Keeping everything in front.
Takes the handoff to Allen. Card slings it, has him wide open. Bryce Williams. You know, they list him as a wide receiver, but I think of Williams, and he's got tight end written all over him. 6'6", 250.
Yeah, to me, he is tight end material. That was another wheel route, Mark. And I tell you, those wheel routes, you'd be surprised how often those come open. It was another wheel route. They turned it free. That was a bust by the secondary right there. They've got to be able to handle those routes.
Rush 4 again here. Card brings it back down. Still running around and finds his receiver for a first down at the 40, Justin Hardy. What a combination those two are. Gain of 17, first down.
Well, you know, again, as much as we bragged on the defensive line in Cincinnati getting pressure, the secondary can't cover for 6 and 7 seconds. They had him covered up. He had nowhere to go with it. Made a good throw.
Hardy has caught 7 passes tonight. Anthony Scott gets away. All the way up to the 26-yard line before he's upended by Zach Edwards. 8-yard pickup.
You know, Zach Edwards has really been a force on this defense in terms of the run game. You know, you see him getting matched up against receivers in the pass game. He's also the number 2 tackler on this team behind Jeff Luke. Good open field tackle that time. It's a tough open field tackle for him on that, but he did a great job bringing him down.
2 backs this time, Hairston and Grayson. Second and short. Oh, a little misplay on the handoff and a pass to Hardy, who's slung down at the 11. Andre Jones, that vicious tackle, a gain of 15. I don't think that was intentional on the misplay on the handoff there.
No, it wasn't off the play action. Did a great job hitting Hardy.
Handed off quickly towards the end zone and touchdown. Marquise Grayson. So right back to the line, a quick snap. And East Carolina finds the end zone for the first time tonight.
Well, Lincoln Riley talked to us about the number of running backs that they have. We even joked around a little bit about it, Mark, with how do you get them all the ball? But they're doing that tonight. So you've seen Marquez Grayson. You've seen Anthony Scott, both freshmen, one a true freshman, one a redshirt freshman. What a great run in there. Obviously right through the middle of the defense. A very physical downhill run. That was huge. That's exactly what East Carolina needed to do in the red zone. Really for the first time tonight.
Harvey adds the extra point. 9:07 to play till halftime. It's 17-13 Bearcats. Big drive for East Carolina. 9 plays, 83 yards. They needed that. Cut the lead for the Bearcats down to 17-13. Hilton will now bring it out of the end zone. You've been playing a little on special teams, boom, but now this is the 3rd game where he's been one of the focal points of the running game for them.
Yeah, watch him in the screen game, too. Again, he's got great hands, and they love him on these little slip screens as well.
Out of the hands of Holton, and is it picked off? Jonathan White. And the Pirates get a big turnover at the 35 of the Bearcats. Well, a drop pass turns into a turnover.
Well, that was a great heads-up play. I mean, Jonathan White, again, was kind of, look what I found. But he made the play when he had to make the play. That was a defensive lineman's dream, I believe. The ball bounces right into your hands off the tunnel screen. Heads-up play. Again, this is going to be interesting to see. The last red zone trip that East Carolina had, they converted for a touchdown. They're on the fringe right now, around the 35. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how they convert now with an opportunity with great field position.
And then Carden going towards the big tight end, we'll call him, Williams. And he has it inside the 10. Well, it started with a really nice play fake. On the fake handoff to Allen, and Carden connects to Williams for 28 yards. It's 1st and goal. Fade towards the end zone, and Worthy incomplete. Lyndon Stevens on the coverage. Stevens at 6 feet tall, even. Worthy at 6'3" with a little height advantage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's battling down there. You got to like that. Now, he's got to be careful, because if he doesn't look for that ball mark, they're going to PI him. They're going to give him a pass interference. Great job battling down to the end. Again, they've got themselves in a favorable situation, Cincinnati's defense does, because of that play. With now you're looking at 2nd and 7.
Option, Carden. Now coming back the other way is Justin Hardy, and he's into the end zone.
Wow.
First lead of the game for the Pirates, and how about that play pulled out of the bag of tricks?
Lincoln Riley pulled that one out of the blue, didn't he? I'll tell you something, that was something else, because it looked like there was some penetration in there by the Cincinnati defense. If you look at there at number 9, looked like he was going to come through there and disrupt something. That was Leviticus Payne. Here comes the reverse. Hey,
so East Carolina takes advantage of the turnover.
Whatever you got to do. Look at that. I mean, that could have been a huge big play defensively.
Harvey's extra point. First lead of the night. On the run in by Hardy. It's braving it on a cold night here in the Queen City. How about East Carolina? First 3 red zone trips, 6 points. Now, Gene, their last 2 trips to the red zone, 2 touchdowns, and in a game where they, quite frankly, been outplayed for much of it, suddenly they have the lead.
Well, we talked about it, Mark. There's 2 things. Turnovers.
Yes.
Look at it, because right now, you got Cincinnati with 2 turnovers, which led to scores. And then East Carolina have obviously turned it over one time. But red zone play and turnovers in games like these, bottom line, it makes a difference in the football game.
Holden will take a knee. See, they're 30 degrees. We have a 10-mile-per-hour wind, so wind chill probably high teens, low 20s.
This is going to be a big series for Gunnar Kiel and Cincinnati's offense.
Keeping Kiel. And the quarterback lowering his head at the 35-yard line, running for 10 yards. Stopped by Dominic Lennon.
You know, when you run these, Mark, the quarterback just needs to keep it 1 or 2 times, just so the defense knows that he will. And again, when you do this, I think what Eddie's trying to do is open up some of these run lanes, you know, for the tailback run game, because they got to get that going.
Kiel throws, hits his target out of the backfield. Running back Rod Moore tackled at the 38 for 4 yards. That's Zeke Bigger with the stop.
You know, again, I think that's just really good decision making. Do not have anything open vertically down the field. I think Gunnar Kiel does a great job of hitting the check downs and let them see if they can get 4 or 5.
Big strike out to Morrison. Nice open field tackle by Monteese Overton. Well, now it's the Pirates defense that's feeling it.
Yeah, what a play by Monteese Overton. Again, beating the block on the perimeter. That is the downside to the bubble screen. If you miss one block, get ready. you can get splattered out there. And again, that was a great job by number 51, Montes Overton. Just doing a great job beating the block and making a play.
He's a local kid from Greenville, North Carolina, South Central High School. Pirates rush 4. Keel going deep. Moore breaks away. Touchdown.
Wow.
Chris Moore, 66 yards.
You talk about a great throw and a great catch. Again, Coach Grant talked about it yesterday. Chris Moore is one of the fastest receivers they've got. They love putting him on all of the deep balls, the deep posts, the streaks, the go routes. What a great job of him just taking the ball away. What a huge explosive play. That is 2. Count them, 2 now plays for Cincinnati that are huge in the pass game. That one by Chris Moore, earlier by McKay.
6th touchdown catch of the year for Chris Moore. The point after for Gantz. Bearcats back in front. Back and forth we go in the Queen City as Keel and the Bearcats make the big play. Back here in the Queen City of Cincinnati, 5:27 to go till halftime, 24-20. Bearcats have gotten a couple of big scoring plays on passes from Gunnar Keel. The first score of the night, the McKay 55-yard touchdown, and their most recent one, the 66-yarder to Moore. So Keel tonight, 14-19 for 249 yards so far. 3 TDs, does have the 2 picks, but 3 touchdowns and has his team back in front.
Well, I don't think the cold weather's bothering him too much tonight, Mark. I mean, to be honest with you, he floated that one up earlier that got picked in the first quarter. The other one was kind of a fluke. You know, the defensive lineman kind of stumbled into it. But I'm going to tell you something. He's throwing it almost 75% tonight, along with 3 touchdowns. That gives him 23 touchdowns on the year. And this old Indiana boy, he didn't seem phased tonight by this weather.
Not at all.
Not like me and you anyway, right?
It's a little chilly tonight. Jones from the 2. 25, just before he gets to the 25 by Coleman.
I want to tell you something. These Cincinnati coverage teams, they're impressive. I mean, one time it's a DB, other time it's a linebacker. That time it was Grant Coleman, one of their starting corners.
Allen in the backfield. Hard looking at throw. That delivers to Allen, who gets by 1. 40-45 midfield. Slung down there by Andre Jones. Boy, Cardin was feeling the heat, just barely got rid of that in time, and you could see having to get the shoulder pad back in place, took a hit.
Well, it was one of the few times that Cincinnati brought some heat. They brought the linebacker inside. Nobody touched him. And then again, Jeff Luke kind of missed the tackle, and he did a great job, Brayon Allen, to get yards after the catch.
Picked up 26, going for a Hardy. Almost came up with it inside the 20. Coverage by Zach Edwards.
Tell you what, this is one you can look at right now. Zach Edwards is going to have to be careful. You can see there, Mark, he's not looking for the ball. That can get you in trouble down the road. I'm not going to say he got away with that one, but he's going to have to be very careful on how he plays the ball in the air, because that is a defensive nightmare, not looking for the football. Get a flag on that at a critical time in the game.
And 5 minutes to go in this first half. Grayson and Hairston, 2 backs. Handed off to Marquez Grayson. Wrapped up by Zach Edwards. In his 7th. Right back to the line with the same, I was going to say same personnel, but now Allen's going to come in along with Davon Grayson.
It's a huge 3rd down. It'll be interesting to see if Cincinnati brings a little pressure. That hasn't been their plan going into tonight.
It's 4, and on 3rd and 3, off the hands of Davon Grayson, 4th down. And Coleman had the coverage.
Well, it looks like they're going to go for this one. They're too far down. They're on the fringe right there. Again, Lincoln Riley talked about being able to, on the fringe in that 40-yard area going in, being able to get those first downs.
Well, they thought about it. Seriously, and I'm with you. Initially, I think they were going to go for it, but now decide late that they're going to punt the football here. Yeah, Washington back in his own 10.
Kind of shocked. That's what we talked about the other day with Lincoln just trying to move the ball in that area of the field.
What a great punt, but let's see where they mark it out. Still going. 23-yard line. Not a good punt at all. Just a 19-yarder. Keel came in averaging 256 yards through the air for the game. He's already exceeded that and adds to it with another completion to Holton. He's down at the 47. The Bearcats first down, tackled by Zeke Bigger.
I'm going to tell you something. The guy you can go thank right now on this play is number 21. Rod Moore picked up the blitz from the outside. If he doesn't do that, the ball never gets off. He stuck his face in there. He planted his cleats in the ground. Did not shy away or back off from that linebacker blitz, and he was the one that made that go.
Keel has lots of time. Finds his receiver on the near side at the 40, McKay. Another first down, and here's the Bearcats just methodically moving down the field. It's a 16-yard gain.
I'll tell you, I love his decision-making. He had the screen and go at the top. They covered it. Usually it's open. He went to his second read, which is back outside to McKay. He's just making some really good decisions right now. I love the way he's protecting the ball and making the right decisions at the right time.
6 catch for McKay for 116 yards in his first half. Running left, here comes Moore. It's a nice block on the edge from McKay. Run out by Dietrich Allen, and another first down. Gain of 13.
This is exactly what he did last week in their last game versus Tulane. He kind of stuck it up there in the middle mark, got everybody to really kind of converge in the middle of the defense, and did a great job with his vision, making those cuts and bouncing it outside on the perimeter. I'm going to say last week, a good bit of his 120-plus yards came on those bounce plays.
First down for the Bearcats at the 22. Run straight ahead, squeaking through, spinning. Rod Moore. Tackled by Lamar Ivy. Well, the Bearcats, prior to that run right there, averaging over 10 yards per rush and 13 yards per pass completion. That's a gain of 11.
Well, we talked with Eddie yesterday about how he feels good about the way they're coming off the ball up front with their 5 offensive linemen. They've improved tremendously over the last 3 weeks.
Back to Moore, inside the 5. He's close to another first down. They can reach or pick up a first down without scoring. Stopped by Dominique Lennon. It's going to be second and short.
Yeah, again, to me, this is a great job again by Rod Moore. Now he's running it on the inside of the defense. He's bouncing things to the perimeter. He's seeing cuts on the inside and taking the holes.
They're going to run the football. And finding his way to the goal line and in for the touchdown is Rod Moore. Just got over the goal line for his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
I'm going to tell you something. This is a physical football play. This is a physical run. He is not going to be denied at the goal line. He has got 3 guys right now trying to bend him back. That was just one of those old school, hit it up in there, get your shoulder pads north and south, and not be denied of the end zone. You know, Mark, when we talked about them the other day, they talked about even at this point in the year, they're still doing a lot of 10 and 15 minutes a practice of being physical on the run game. And I think, again, it's showing up down there. I thought Rod Moore did a tremendous job of scoring on a very physical downhill run.
Andrew Gantz adds the extra point, and Cincinnati has their original 11-point lead back after falling behind briefly. That turns out to be the final play of the first half. East Carolina fought back, took a 3-point lead at 20-17, but Cincinnati, final 2 scores of the half, and they lead it by 11. 725 total yards of offense in that first half between the 2 teams. Let's join Casey Smith out on the field with Coach.
Coach, over 700 total yards of offense between these two teams tonight. What do you need to see from your defense to adjust in the second?
Well, we're playing pretty good defense. We're just trying to get them on third down because, and take their running game away and make them throw the ball. And our guys are doing a pretty good job. We're only 4-man rush and playing a lot of man coverage. That's not very good most of the time, but it's going about like I thought. We're playing pretty good on offense. We're making some big plays, but we got to run the ball a little bit better. We got to run it more consistent, but good football game.
Gunner's had a great game. How do you assess his play through the first half?
Well, the offensive line's giving a lot of time. They're not doing a lot of blitzing. They're playing a lot of zone coverage, and it gives us time to go through reads and him get the ball down the field. So it's working out pretty good. We get the ball second half, open the second half. We'll see what we can do and see if we can get back in the rhythm.
Thanks, Coach. Guys?
Casey, Coach, thanks. As you saw, Tuberville has never lost when leading at the half as the Bearcats head coach. Now let's send it to the studio with Robert Flores. Welcome back to Cincinnati. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. It's about to start the second half, and it's an 11-point lead for the home team, Cincinnati Bearcats. Glad you could join us on this Thursday night, along with Casey Smith and Coach Gene Chizik. Out Mark Neely. Gene, East Carolina's already come back from one 11-point deficit tonight. You kind of get the feeling that it's going to go down to the end here.
This may come down to the last man standing. Whoever has the ball left. Both of them are going to have to make some defensive adjustments at halftime, but right now both of these offenses are extremely explosive. We knew that. Something's going to have to happen different in the second half.
Big first half for the Cincinnati quarterback, Gunnar Kiel. 290 yards passing, 3 TDs. Was intercepted twice with the 3 touchdown passes, 290 yards passing in the first half. And this for a quarterback, Kiel, who came in averaging 256 yards through the air per game and a 59% completion percentage. Pirates, as I mentioned, were down 11 at one point in this game. They were down 17-6, came back to the 2017 lead, but then Moore, 66-yard touchdown catch. Chris Moore, that is, and then the Rod Moore 2-yard TD run. A couple of late TDs for the Bearcats, giving them the 11-point edge. From the 4, Johnny Holton. Holton running right to the 25-yard line. Past the 30 and out just before the 35-yard line. Let's check in with Casey Smith down on the field. What was on Ruffin's mind here at the half?
Well, he said that he really knew coming into this game how tough it was going to be. He also said that he wants his defense to do better on first down, but he also said to his team as they were leaving the locker room, he said, guys, I believe in you, now you believe in you. He said this last few quarters are going to be a good game, and he thinks it's going to come down to the very end.
Just what you were saying, Gene. Thanks, Casey.
That's what it's going to be, Mark.
On first down, a throw. Max Morrison. Pushed back with forward progress up to the 48. A big gain there on first play of the half at 24 yards.
Kind of compared Max Morrison to the Wes Welker type, Mark. Just a very sure-handed guy. Again, not afraid to do dirty work, blocking on the screens.
Kiel again to throw. Going deep, and he found him again inside the 20, Chris Moore. And bang, just like that, 2 plays into the half, knocking on the door again in the red zone.
Well, I think there's no question Chris Moore is establishing himself as the deep threat receiver in this game. If they can somehow get down and score on this possession, this is going to be a different ball game potentially.
Kiel on the play fake. Wide open. The strike to Holton. And that's a first down inside the 30. Nice block by Rod Moore to help him get free.
Again, he did this earlier in the game when I said the exact same thing. Rod Moore stepping up to the plate in protection. Gave Gunner a chance to get that ball off. That's a huge part of the puzzle. For a running back is pass protection. Everybody thinks they carry the ball, but they got to protect too.
This time he's going to let Rod Moore carry the football, and he bounces forward. Another close to a 10-yard gain there up to the 20 before he's stopped by Lamar Ivy and Josh Hawkins. Right now, the Bearcats offense just seems to be moving down the field at will.
Yeah, I like the play calling too. Eddie Glenn right there ran what we call a little tackle trap. Pulled the right tackle right there, and again, think you really got to like the way Rod Moore is running. I think his visions have been really, really outstanding all night. They threw him a bone, too, right after he had a great job on the protection.
On 2nd and 1, Keel's going to take a shot towards the end zone, a flag. McKay, the intended receiver. Keel took a hit after the delivery of the pass.
Pass interference. Number 4 defense. Penalty results in automatic first down.
Dietrich Allen called for the PI.
Yeah, there was no question. This is going to be really, really. I mean, again, that's a critical error down there.
They just grabbed him.
Yeah, McKay had him beat. He ran the corner ball on him. He ran a corner route.
Ooh, you know, and Keel's had some issues with the ribs recently that's kept him out of some game action. Could have gotten him in a bad spot.
Again, you can see how those pass interference calls just kill you, especially on the fringe going into the red zone.
Rod Moore cutting it outside, cuts it back. A nice open field tackle by Lamar Ivy to keep him out of the end zone. Gain of 4.
So that's a hard open field tackle that you saw Lamar Ivy do. He's the 4th leading tackler on the defense. Again, from the safety position, as you're trying to close ground, well, that's a good eyes up, great form tackle right there. That was a nice job. But you have to be impressed by the way Rod's running the ball. Bouncing it outside, he's keeping himself up, some up inside. Great vision.
Give him a little breather and bring in the freshman. And Mike Boone carries it into the end zone. The first possession of the second half at Cincinnati methodically moves down the field and adds to the lead.
Yeah, watch Mike Boone right here. He just does a great job. I think both of these backs. Now, you're going to hear a lot about this guy as we go down the road with Mike Boone, true freshman, as we talked about. Really had a breakout week a couple of weeks ago against South Florida. Hadn't carried it as much tonight. I think Rod Moore's done a lot of the work. But maybe you're going to see Mike Boone a little bit more in the second half. But I'm going to tell you something. Both of these guys are impressive.
Tell you, Mike Boone needs to walk over to Rod Moore. Rod Moore needs to say, "You're welcome, freshman." Downtown Cincinnati, on the banks of the Ohio River, at Paul Brown Stadium. Thursday night football, the American Conference. Cincinnati with 20 unanswered points, leading East Carolina 38-20. Freshman Boone with the last touchdown run. We're going to play some special teams, and it's going to be a big upcoming drive now for the East Carolina offense, who suddenly find themselves down 18 points. Isaiah Jones racing back deep. Jones fumbles it at the goal line, picks it up at the 5. And nearly gets back to the 20. Well, big possession coming here for quarterback Shane Carton and the Pirates. And Carton's had some nice moments tonight.
Yeah, there's no question about it. He throws it short right there. I mean, again, he's kind of getting overshadowed a little bit by Gunnar Keel, but there he is throwing a nice deep ball, put the ball in the only place you could put it. How about this one? He had to adjust on the run to this one on the reverse for a touchdown. He's had a big night, 255 yards. Never count this guy out, Mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 255, as you said in the first half, came in averaging about 349 a game. So he's got some pretty big numbers. He's probably get up over 3,000 yards on the season by the end of the night, maybe by the end of this quarter. He's going deep, and Worthy incomplete in double coverage, and the flag comes out at the end of the play.
There's no foul for pass interference. Second down.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call, Mark. They were both going up. They both have an equal right to the football. It was great coverage. I just didn't see it. I think that was a good call.
And a little push there before the ball got to the receiver.
Well, you look at that right hand now that you see it a little closer. It could have. I guess it could have been a little different than I thought. But,
so did one official talk the other out of the PI call?
So they had a little meeting with 3 that day.
Breon Allen with the carry. He finds a nice crease all the way past midfield before he's brought down at the Cincinnati 40 by Andre Jones, the safety.
Yeah, that was big by Andre Jones right there. I mean, that was a game save. I mean, that was a touchdown-saving tackle, no question. I mean, he tracked him down. Watch him start from left to right. I'm going to tell you, here he comes right into the picture. What a great job of tracking that down and saving a touchdown.
41-yard run. Going towards the receiver, Worthy. The pass was behind him, and Kevin Brown never turned to look back, but it hit him in the back.
Well, when it hits you in the back of the head, I guess you got pretty good coverage, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Good thing there was no incidental contact, and we'd have been seeing another pass interference. They'll be having some discussions on tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Friday? They'll be having discussions Friday about how to play the ball.
High snap, handed off. Allen down the sideline, inside the 20. He's headed to the end zone. And a huge touchdown for East Carolina to answer.
Well, we talked about how important this drive was going to be, Mark. You know what I mean? When you're down 18, you didn't want to give that ball back to Cincinnati's offense without really answering the bell. And this certainly did it. This is a regular old outside zone play. Again, great blocking by the right side. Breon Allen did a great job of finding the seam in the defense and just hitting it downhill. Again, huge in terms of answering Cincinnati's initial scoring drive coming out of the half.
40-yard touchdown run for Allen, who ran for over 80 on that drive alone. The extra point by Harvey. All 81 yards on that drive, the 41-yard run and the 40-yard run from Allen to find the house. Bearcats leading it early in this third quarter, 38-27, with just a huge drive for East Carolina on that last possession to score 7. But really offensively for Cincinnati, Casey Smith, their offensive line has given Gunnar Kiel a lot of time tonight.
Absolutely, Mark. Eddie Grand came over to the offensive line after that touchdown by Cincinnati and said, you stick your foot on the pedal, you press the gas, and you don't let up for the entire game. And up front is where they are going to win this game, and he thought it was an unbelievable effort by his offensive line. And
time for the O-line for Cincinnati to put the pedal to the metal again. Thanks, Casey. They aren't showing any signs of letting up, though. Pirates with a big drive there, which was primarily thanks to the running of Breon Allen. He's up to 125 yards rushing now on just 10 carries.
Yeah, going back to Cincinnati's offensive line, it'll be interesting to see how they respond to East Carolina's response. But this offensive line's been together pretty much the whole year. Here in November, Mark, you've got an offensive line that's really only kind of lost one guy. Everybody else has started all 8 games together. And it shows tonight.
Nice to have that continuity. Up to the 20 goes Holden. Tackle on special teams for Pat Green. Kiel, that's drops. A rare drop by McKay, who's seen his production slow down a little bit, but he had 6 quick catches in this game for 116 yards in the first half.
Well, Dedrick Allen, the corner's playing about 7 or 8 yards off of him. That's one that Gunnar Kiel can take all night, because you're going to take your chances right now throwing out to the big 6'6" receiver that can run and let him do the rest of the ball.
Tackled in the backfield is Moore by Terry Biles.
Ted, if you watch this, Terry Biles does a great job. This young man, he's one of those guys that I think he was a former walk-on, actually. Yes. It's another great story, Mark, who last week started his first game, just kind of earned his way on the field. And again, comes up with a huge play there and make it a 3rd and long.
Kiel intercepted. Lamar Ivy brought down at the 31. Well, the intended receiver was Chris Moore, and he was beyond the sticks. Had he caught that, would have been a first down. But it carried into the arms of Ivy for his first pick of the season.
It looks like that was definitely a catchable ball. You can see it from a different angle right there, but he's got to catch that football. That's his football. That's 2 drops in this series that Gunnar Kiel, his receivers just dropped it. McKay on the first play, and then this one right here, that's a first down if he catches that football. And again, Chris Moore's had a big night, but he's got to come down with that ball. That's a huge turnover that they couldn't afford to have right now with just an 11-point lead this late in the 3rd quarter.
That swung out to Quay Johnson out of the backfield. Tackled at the 25 by Nick Temple. Gain is 6 for the true freshman Quay Johnson.
So Nick Temple did a great job running all the way across the field to take that thing out for about a 6-7 yard gain.
Scott. Somebody lost a shoe. Alex Pace with the tackle. That's Jarrell Jordan putting the shoe back on.
Again, Alex Pace just stood that offensive lineman up and really did a great job. Again, they're playing good in the middle of the defense right now. Rotating those guys in with Pace and Beard, Mitchell, Harrell.
Third down and 3. Hardy reaching. Wow. He caught another one with Howard Wilder right on his back, and that's a first down. That's some throw there.
Yeah.
And it takes us to the end of the third quarter, but the East Carolina drive still rolling, trying to cut into the deficit. Into the fourth quarter, Cincinnati leading East Carolina 38-27. Winner of this game, tied with Memphis atop the standings in the American Conference. Keel having a nice night at quarterback for the Bearcats, 3 TD passes. And Hardy for the Pirates now just 5 catches away from passing OU's Ryan Broyles for the FBS career receptions record. And we're not far away from 1,000 total yards combined between these two teams. First down, East Carolina just inside the 20 of the Bearcats. Jones, about 4 near the 15. Stopped there by Leviticus Payne.
Well, that was a big play by Leviticus Payne. There's no question about that. That could have been a catch and carry into the end zone if he doesn't make that stop.
Carden fetched out, now has to get rid of it. A flag, throws to the end zone, touchdown! Justin Hardy.
Potentially.
What was that from Shane Carden?
Holman, number 22 of the defense. Penalties declined. Result of the play is touchdown.
And Edwards for the hold. That's the first passing touchdown tonight for Carden.
You know, oddly enough, that's his first passing touchdown in the last 2 games because he didn't have any last week, or the last game against Temple, which is really kind of odd how his stats are.
Point after knocked through by Harvey, and it's a 4-point game. East Carolina, not long ago, was down 18 and about to get knocked out of this game. They're hanging in, shooting the arrow. 38-34 Bearcats. Still early in this fourth quarter. Great to have you with us. Casey Smith and Gene Chiswick. I'm Mark Neely. And Justin Hardy, a big part of this night. Just 4 catches away from breaking Ryan Broyles' career receptions record. You needed 19 catches coming in to break the record. You kind of thought, maybe next week he may get this thing tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's as good as advertised. I mean, this is one impressive young man. To think he started at East Carolina as a walk-on. You can't help but to root for a guy like this. Is this not incredible? What an incredible story. And I'll tell you what, he's a great football player. He finds ways to get open. He's good with the ball in his hands after the catch. Impressive young man.
It was a short kick. Holden came up to get it at the 15 and then stumbled down at the 20. Well, the last few possessions for the Cincinnati offense, Gene, the Pirates defense has had a couple of their best stands of the night.
Well, you know what stands out to me, Mark, is that this whole game has been momentum swings. I mean, this is a heavyweight fight. It's back and forth and back and forth. And the defense that can get the last stop or a stop seems to be able to swing the momentum in their direction. So we'll see what happens here with East Carolina's defense and how Cincinnati responds.
Field of Washington breaks 1 tackle. Gains close to 7 on first down. The last 3 possessions for Cincinnati coming into this drive, 2 3-and-outs and an interception.
And again, these receivers are going to have to catch the footballs that they get paid to catch. I mean, Max Morrison should have had the one turn into a turnover.
Here is Morrison, finding his way for the first down, reaching across the 30. This effort by Morrison, that'll move the chains.
Well, that's what he's got to do. These guys are going to have to make plays with the ball in their hand. And again, when you have opportunities to catch the ball, make some yards after the catch, you've got to be able to produce. That was a good job by Max in that time. It's huge.
He'll hands it off again to Rod Moore. Wrapped up for a gain of 4 by Dominique Lennon. Clock running, just over 7.5 minutes left in this big game in the American Conference. The winner improves to 4-1 and would be tied with Memphis atop the American standings. Old night here in Cincinnati, but it's been a really entertaining football game. Right back to Moore. Picked up close to 2 there, where he's held up by Jonathan White and Zeke Bigger.
Even if they don't make this first down, Mark, that was a huge flip in field position.
Started at their own 8.
They did. This is a 4-point game right now. And again, in the last 6 minutes, 7 minutes of this game, field position issues are going to be huge. And that was a huge, whether they get this or not, that was a huge jump in switching field position for Cincinnati.
Your Cats look to convert a 3rd and 4. Keel avoided the sack once and twice and throws downfield. Caught! Alex Chisholm with his first grab of the night, perhaps. They look and say, yes, it is a completion.
That was big. Now look at that. Misses 1, misses 2, avoids 2, does a great job of extending the play. Boy, Chisholm comes up with a big catch. Look at this, right on the boundary. That's concentration.
21-yard game. Terry Williams and Jonathan White each had a chance. The quarterback, Keel. There's the freshman back in, Boone, stopped by Monteith Overton. Well, the East Carolina defense probably thought they were about to get off the field.
I'll tell you, that was a huge 3rd down. There's no question about it. It's going to be interesting right now. How much does Tommy decide to kind of eat the clock and try to let it run down a little bit? Particularly if they can sustain some more 3rd down conversions, sustain some drives.
Keeping Keel wrapped up by Lamar Ivy at the 36, and he's run that just enough times, as you said early, Gene, to open up a few other things.
Yeah, he did. And again, this is a zone read. Just keep the defense honest. Pulled it again. That's a 2nd time tonight that he's kept it on the perimeter, and particularly when opponents go to break him down and they say, hey, they're running the zone, but they have the read off of it. You got to practice it. You got to have a plan for it.
11th play of the drive coming, a drive that began at the Cincinnati 8. Worst starting field position tonight. This is a 3rd and 6. May have been tipped. It was underthrown to Washington, but again, I think somebody got a hand on that. Perhaps Brandon Williams.
Well, again, they brought the same blitz they brought a couple of series ago. 2 guys off the weak side, off the split side right there. Rushed the throw.
4th down, it's 6. And he jumped. Free play. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, McKay.
Fantastic offensive football call. Fantastic call.
36-yard reception. Well, the offsides, had the play not worked here, would have set up, it wouldn't have given a first down. It would have been 4th and 1, but it's a moot point on the touchdown catch by McKay.
It is a moot point. You can see 51 on the outside. Monteith Overton, he jumps, free play. Again, what a great catch by Johnny Holden. He's their deep ball guy, loves to send them deep. That's just a great call by Eddie Grant. And Tommy Tuberville's been used to, over the years, he's been known to gamble a little bit, I guess you could say.
Keel over 400 passing yards tonight with that TD reception. McKay's first of the half. He had 6 in the first half. With 4:47 to go. What a huge play in this game. 92-yard drive that ate up nearly 5.5 minutes. Short kick, Jones to the 28. Well, now down 11 and 4:41 to go. It's Carolina beginning at their own 29. Carden throws. Caught at the 45 by Cam Worthy, who made the adjustment. Look back with Andre Jones again covering. And a first down, and a gain of 27.
I'll tell you, Hank Hughes did a great job dialing up another blitz, sent Jeff Luke right down the middle of the defense. Shane Carter just got the ball off, another incredible catch.
Good snap and a carry by Breon Allen. Brought down just outside the 40. Allen a little slow getting up. Well, they're up in McNeil's Pirates. They need points on this possession.
They definitely have to have points. Again, this is the fringe area, right between the 30 and the 40 right now, where they've had a tendency to self-destruct at times.
Carden going deep, and he found his man again. The 6'3" target, Cam Worthy, between Lyndon Stevens and Zach Edwards. First and goal.
We've been talking about Justin Hardy all night. Forget about Cam Worthy. He's number 3 in the league with 88 yards a game in receptions. He's a viable target too.
34-yard gain there. Carden again, Worthy, touchdown. Carden took a hit, but delivered the touchdown pass. Nick Temple with the lick on the quarterback, but Worthy, the big playmaker on that drive, and East Carolina responding with 3:44 left.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I got to give Carden a lot of credit. He's taken some pressure on the last 3 plays. 2 big plays. Obviously, that great strike there to Cam Worthy. That's a huge touchdown. Both of these teams are moving the football so easily down the field at this point in the game.
Going to go for 2 to try to make this a 3-point game. Low, incomplete. Going for Hardy on the 2-point conversion. It fails. It was Grant Coleman, number 13, on the coverage. And it remains a 5-point game.
I want to tell you something. That's a great defensive football play. Watch how he plays in front of the upfield shoulder without getting a pass interference. You know, the fear of those is that you grab his right shoulder and you kind of yank it, trying to get in front of the football, but that was a tremendous job.
It's American Conference battle, with the winner improving to 4-1 in conference play and tying Memphis for the American League. Well, that was their last game. What they played was November 1st at Temple. Lost that game 20-10. And committed 5 turnovers, East Carolina did in that game. Had only committed 9 on the season coming in. They do kick it deep. And it's going to go into the end zone and come out to the 25. Now 3:44 left, take over at their own 25. More progress gives him about a yard.
You know, Mark, I just don't think at this time in the game, you know, you got 3.5 minutes left. I don't think you can get conservative. They got to get first downs. East Carolina's got 2 timeouts left. You know, this isn't about grind it out, a couple of runs, and then punt. This is about trying to maintain the possession of the football. And I don't think you can get conservative at this point in the game. They got to trust their quarterback. They got to trust their receivers. They got to be willing to throw the ball down the field, take what they give you, and try to force things in there. But I don't think this is a time when you can get conservative in football.
Read some clock, get it under 3 minutes. He'll take it off himself up to the 32. It's going to set up a 3rd and a long 2. Tackled by Brandon Williams.
I like the call. I like to call it. I don't think they probably suspected that. You know, Gunnar Kiel's not known for his threat as a runner. Quarterback draw from that I thought was really, really good in terms of protecting the football. And I'm sure if they were going to bring a lot of people on a blitz, they had a way to check out of it. So I think that was a smart call.
I think he lost that pouch he had around his waist that he was using to keep his hands warm. That's what he threw over towards the sideline. Now a big 3rd down and 2. And Rod Moore is stopped short. Stopped short by a good yard and a half by Brandon Williams and Zeke Bigger. Well, Kiel, quarterback on 4th and 2. Do it again. They're just going to do this a couple of times to try to draw them off sides. They're going to go for it. Kiel on the option, does pitch it, and it's a loose football. And the Pirates recover Lamar Ivy. But what a gamble by the Bearcats, and it absolutely backfires.
Well, you know, if you're gonna take a chance on a play, you know, an option's not a great play to run. There's too many things that can happen that aren't good. I mean, they can tackle you for no gain. They can tackle you for a loss. You can put the ball on the ground, which is what just happened, and turn it over, and that's exactly what just happened on that play. And again, that was a gamble. I didn't think they would do it.
No, I didn't either. I'm stunned by that.
I'm stunned by it too. And to be honest with you, just at that point in the game, you can't take the risk of exchanging that ball twice. One to the quarterback and then one to the tailback on one play.
4th Bearcats turnover now. They put a really heavy burden on their defense because East Carolina's, because of the failed 2-point conversion after their last touchdown, they need a touchdown here. They have 1 timeout, clock running. Going towards the end zone, and Worthy, a lot of contact and a flag.
Well, I felt like that call was coming, Mark. I mean, again, throw it out.
That's interference. Number 13 in the defense. Penalty results in an automatic 1st down.
That was on Grant Coleman. Again, it's the same thing we've seen occur over and over tonight. That was very flagrant. Obviously, grabbed him around the waist with his right arm. He tries to look back for the ball, but I mean, really, truly, he was just all over him. And again, that was a great call. Throw the ball up, let Worthy go get it. He's 6'3", and there's a lot of pass interferences tonight for Cincinnati.
Fade, Worthy. Coleman on the coverage.
Well, they're certainly taking their shots to Cam Worthy down there. There's no doubt about it. You're going to take advantage of a 6'3" receiver down there. I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to kind of see maybe the same type of start with the receiver and then make him move back inside on some slants. Because they've been trying to hit the back corners of the end zones and the corner pylons. Nothing inside.
Fake the handoff. Carden keeps, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates, with 1:02 to play. Now they're going to go for 2 again to try to make this 3-point game.
Well, Andre Jones had a shot at it. He had a shot at Shane Carden. He actually had it played pretty well. Kind of ran a zone option. Had the pitch covered. Andre Jones had a chance to make a play on the quarterback and just missed.
4th rushing touchdown of the year for the East Carolina quarterback, Shane Carden. 2-yard touchdown run, going for 2 to try to make this a 3-point game. Quick strike, incomplete, going for Quay Johnson. So it's a 1-point game. It is not over. Cincinnati has 2 timeouts and 1:02 to go. And a field goal could win it. A Tell you what, Tommy Tuberville gave the side judge grief the whole way up the sideline to get ready for this kickoff. And I'm sure it's probably about that call on 4th down with a pass interference. But this is the fumble on a 4th and 2. Bearcats went for it. Ivy recovered. And here's the call I think that Tuberville is talking about. Eventually the flag came out, and then Carden runs it in from